I have been covering Black Beacon for a long time. I've done so many videos on this game. I literally had it in my list of games that I was more anticipating than any other. This was one of the games I was more excited for than almost any game in 2025. I've probably done over 35 videos, or included it in over 30 to 35 videos since it was announced. Now, I've worked with the devs for Black Beacon 5 different times, 4 times, 5 times. I'll go ahead and show you the exact sponsored videos I did. This video right here, 2025's biggest action gacha, Black Beacon. This video was sponsored. That was just a month ago. We have this one, we have this one, we have this one. So I've done 4 sponsored Black Beacon videos in the last 5 weeks, I think, roughly. 4 videos where they paid me to cover their game. Now, I will point out here, the reason I did so many was because I really liked Black Beacon. I like the aesthetic, I like the combat, the characters, the story. I compared it to Reverse 1999. This was a game that I was more than happy to help advertise, to bring new players to it. The global team I worked with was incredibly passionate. They loved their game. They loved the work I did. They allowed me complete freedom. They had no guidelines. They had no restrictions at all. They allowed for me to say whatever I wanted, absolutely whatever I wanted. They requested no changes. They requested no censorship. There was no brief. What they said to me was, and I appreciate this, is like I appreciate when Kudo does this with Punishing Raven and Wuthering Waves. They said, Stix, we just want you to make 4 videos about the game. The first video, we just want you to do about the pre-registration. Say whatever you want, react to whatever you want, just let people know pre-registration is open. I said, cool, can do. So that's what I did. The 3 following videos, they say we just want you to do 3 videos after the game launches. Doesn't matter what they're about. You could do tier lists, you could do guides, you can literally just sit there and react to booba from characters, anything you want. We'll give you all the money for it. And I said, thank you guys so much. They were very communicative. The contacts I have with the global team, they would always respond within hours. More often than not, they would respond within minutes. They were so responsive, communicative, and incredibly friendly and professional, which is why this part, I think, is the worst part. This is, I think, what hurt me the most with regards to Black Beacon. And that is that after all of this drama started happening, I reached out to my contacts in the global studio and I asked them what was going on. I asked them if they were going to be making any changes, if they're going to address anything. I have those contacts in place. I was working with them. I was being paid by the company. I have those contacts in place. I can talk to them verbally, physically, like that is what those connections are there for. And for the last 3 days, they have not responded. I've not seen any of my contacts even log in at all. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today's Sunday. None of them have logged in. None of them have responded. I believe the majority of there was like no moderating for their Discord now. I feel like, for all intents and purposes, the entire global team is either just absent or non-communicative with anyone. And that right there, that is, I think, what, again, really bothered me the most. And I'm not gonna say they're not gonna reply, okay? Don't take this out of context. I do genuinely think that they are still very passionate about their game. So do not overreact, please, for my sake. But even so, when all of this is going on, communication is integral, imperative even to your game. Because this lack of communication with the people that are advertising it, that are hyping up and covering your game, because let's be honest, how many other people are covering Black Beacon to the same extent that I am? My Black Beacon videos are 10, 20, 50, 80K views. No shade at smaller content creators, but those are some of the bigger videos out there. So when you're bigger content creators, you're essentially ghosting, then what does that say about you and your game? Yeah, maybe they are waiting for a response from the Chinese team. And that is a topic I definitely brought up. And that's why I was telling people repeatedly, do not overreact. Like in the threads I did, or in the tweets I made rather, I said, maybe they just haven't announced it yet. And I hope that's the case, because that very well might be true. They might have gone completely silent because they were requested to be silent, because they're not allowed to verbalize or disclose anything going on. And again, like from everything I've seen with the global studio, they have been nothing but kind and compassionate and professional. So this is just so strange to me that this is happening, but their silence is indicative of something much, much worse. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. Damage control? It very well might be. Now, with all of this going on, the severe backlash to the Chinese favoritism here, because that's what this entire thing is about. We as global players had issues from day one and are still having issues today. China had issues on day one, and they were issued compensation in the form of a free 5-star character and 30 polls. We got like 20 or 30 polls, and we had 48 hours to redeem, 2 days to redeem those polls. China got it. China got our polls plus a free 5-star selector and had 30 days, 30 days to redeem theirs, I believe. So that was severe favoritism shown to China. Now, players were very upset, and you know, that is entirely warranted. I think, okay, when was this posted? April 30th, so like 3 days ago. The Black Beacon team decided to release a response to player concerns. They said essentially, we're sorry that everything has happened, and don't worry, we have updates coming in the future. Complete omission of anything going on, any of the drama going on. That was not what players wanted to hear. So before this, with all the drama going on, the Play Store rating dropped from 4.2 stars down to 3.7, I believe. After this response right here, which showed a severe lack of compassion for their players. You wanna know what the rating dropped to? You wanna know what the rating dropped to? Look at that. Look at that. That is the new rating. That is incredibly low. They are absolutely cooked. Once again, I love this game. I have repeatedly shown my support for this game, my love for this game. I have advertised this game every way I can. I have shown interest in the upcoming characters, and I plan on covering the upcoming characters and everything, but at the same time, I genuinely don't know how much longer this game is even going to last if these issues remain unaddressed. Because this right here is not looking good. People see this rating when they're looking for a game and they immediately pass. Nope, they are not going to play it. They're not. Come on, dude, get to the point already. What the fuck do you think I'm doing? Literally, I'm discussing the point. What the fuck kind of comment is that? What is the point? It's literally in the title. If you just want a TLDR what the point is, I literally have it here. Let me show you. Let me show you. You are on YouTube. So I will show you the title of the stream. Okay, here you go. The title of the stream, which is visible to everyone watching. Black Beacon ignores global. Right there. I know some people are blind and incapable of reading, and some people lack basic comprehension, but that right there is the point. That right there is the point. You've talked about your love for the game for minutes on end. Really? For the last few minutes, I thought I was discussing, hold on, wait, let me back up a second. So for the last 3 minutes here, I was discussing Charles's response. I then discussed the rating for the game dropping, and I briefly touched on my love for the game. He's trolling. Well, there's a difference between trolling and actually being an idiot. So, but you know, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and just assume that he's blind and or deaf. Because, you know, if he could hear, he would have heard that I was speaking about the entirety of the game for the last several minutes. And if he had eyes and could read, he would have read the TLDR, and the topic was in fact in the title. All of that could have been completely avoided. They have had the opportunity here to address player concerns, okay? That tweet was made on April 30th. It is now, what, April 3rd? Yeah, it is April 3rd. 72 hours have passed since they made this tweet. The tweet is filled with comments like, no mention of the main issue we're currently having. Letter means nothing because it didn't address the main issue. Like, there were so many instances where players wanted a response to the actual concern we as players had. And then I also saw here, editing the post to get rid of negative comments. That's another thing I want to point out. They have been removing negative comments everywhere on Discord. They've been banning people on Discord, removing negative comments on Discord, banning and removing negative comments across social media, everywhere. They're trying hard to mask the discontent from the player base, but instead of just addressing it, saying sorry, you know, we didn't mean to play favorites and that wasn't our intention, and just giving everyone globally the free 5-star like China received for the same issues that Global was having, they decided to try and hide it and cover it all up. And that right there makes people even more distrustful of you as a studio. Then, 24 hours later, they released this tweet for the new character. I was really excited for Ching. I got to test her on the content creator server. And like, I literally made a comment here saying, you know, I love her. She's a phenomenal character. And that's because like, I wasn't gonna talk crap about the game because I still like it. And I was waiting for them to actually, to admit to what was going on. Did they release his calendar image? Cool. Then they release a tweet saying that there's an update coming. And evidently, yes, who got, why China got a free 5-star in Global didn't. End of service, please. Good job, China Beacon. Feigning ignorance won't save you. So people in every single tweet made are reiterating the same thing. We want a response. We just want you to say something. Here's another advert for Ching. Advert for Ching. So instead of addressing the issue, they decide, let's just keep advertising the new character because that's what players want, right? Yeah. So here's where it gets even better. This is when we enter the Discord. There have been multiple announcements made, multiple maintenance that have been held, but right here is a community event made by the Black Beacon devs, publishers, whatever, team, global team, concerning Ching, their new character made at 12 a.m. today. That was 14 hours ago. Instead of addressing the issue, they decided to hold a giveaway. $20 Amazon gift card for 20 winners. And then players met them with this response. Cry face, middle finger, skeleton face. Players were very unhappy. But they are giving away, don't worry, $20 to 20 different people. It's $400. There's your response. That's awesome, right? That's so epic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that right there is so epic. Instead of addressing what was going on, instead of addressing the issue at hand that has been spammed all across their Discord, all across their social media, they instead decide, you know what? You know what would appease players? You know what would make them happy? Here, let's hold a giveaway and give away $20 gift cards. Yep, there we go. All you need to do, chap, to win, by the way, follow us on social media and share the post. Make sure you like, retweet, and follow us. That right there, that is all you need to do. That is ridiculous. That was $400 I'll never financially recover. Yeah, gift cards look so out of place. But it continues to get worse, apparently. Over on our subreddit, by the way, you should join if you have not already, because we react to all this stuff live as a direct result of what was posted on our subreddit. And we share all this juicy info, beta test, everything, every day. Here's a reward, the compensation that Charles gave. A standard 10 poll. Do you want to know how popular Black Beacon is in China? Black Beacon recently reached the top spot in the Chinese App Store and were all awarded a free 10 poll, something few global players actually have knowledge of since we never got notified. Even if we take into account the new temple in global, that still only balances out where we were when this outrage started. And if you want to nitpick, it is an apology compensation as opposed to a celebration award like this is, which gets worse when we factor in the additional 300 standard currency gifted alongside this. So Black Beacon hit number 1 in China, and they were rewarded for such. They got sent this too. Thank you for your willingness to embark on the journey of exploring the library. Please accept the deepest bow from the Wedge Riders logistics team again. With the enthusiastic support of all the 4-siders, Black Beacon has successfully topped the iOS free list in China on April 28th. Awesome. This honor belongs to you, who still hold the torch in the darkest moment. Is every download, every rating, and every love of the Four-Siders that makes the Babel library revitalized once again. So they got 10 pull, some premium currency, some in-game coin, and it looks like they will be able to redeem that for an entire month rather than the 2 days that we got when Global launched, and we got like that free like 20 or 30 pull, and we had 48 hours to redeem it. They stay on their knees for China. Yeah, at this point, based off of what I've seen, based off of all the negative reception and criticism they've received in Global, based off of them acquiescing to China and bowing down to Chinese players and giving them everything they possibly can, and their reluctance to do anything at all for Global, I would say that the future of Black Beacon Global is not great. Which is a shame, because once again, on my channel, I did numerous Black Beacon videos. I even have a playlist for Black Beacon right here. I had a playlist created specifically for this game because of how much I was enjoying it and how much I wanted to continue to cover it on the channel. I made guides for it. I covered its success at launch. I was so thrilled to be able to cover another game that I was really enjoying. And then they go and show us that, you know what, Global really doesn't matter. So, you know, am I supposed to continue to cover it? Should I still even continue to cover it? Like, I don't think so. Maybe. I'll give it a chance. I'm not gonna judge it before they release an update, okay? I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.